It's not running my computer over there. Right. Yeah. Now, as we wait for the person to get to the slide, any question? Now you can ask questions about what we have learned just now. Only on what we have learned just now. Please don't go ahead. Yeah? Don't ask me who is the Antichrist, what is the mark of the beast, okay? We will deal with that when it comes.
So Reggie, if the temple, the temple rebuilding has not even started yet, is that correct?
Yeah, it's not.
So you would say that the return of Jesus is not any time
it's
too
impossible.
soon.
It's impossible, yeah.
Because your God is a God of order. In fact, when all the events that happen will go according to the 7 feasts. And the Christian is clueless because they don't celebrate the 7 feasts. They don't want to know about the 7 feasts. Now the first feast is the feast of Passover. Jesus became the sacrificial lamb. The second feast is the feast of unleavened bread. Jesus became the sinless one that was entered into Hades. The third feast was the feast of first fruit. Jesus arose on the third day to be what they call to be the first of the day, arise from the dead. And then feast of Pentecost, all right, which already passed. We celebrate the feast of Pentecost, the baptism of the Holy Spirit, right? Then are we now in the feast of Yom Teruah or the feast of trumpets?
Next 3 feasts. Teruah?
No,
Not yet.
it's not yet happening yet. So
Next
it's
week.
waiting to be happen.
That's right.
Jesus have to return so that the trumpet is blown when Jesus returns. Okay? So it's according to the feast. So remember the Bible tells you must know time and seasons. That's how you know. Amen?
So just a plug there, because I know we're going to be very busy. If any one of you, and I urge all of you to come on the 9th November 2 to 4:30 at our usual meeting. We have another talented speaker from Salvation Army Singapore actually previously, and a good friend of Pastor Paul Ong, who's actually going to talk about the 7 feasts of the Lord. This is really, really cutting edge because a lot of you Christians, 90% seriously, I'm not talking down, but I'm saying that we haven't get this knowledge and insight. It is beautiful. Yeah, we have a diagram that's drawn by my daughter. I'll show it to you during lunchtime. But you must come 9 November. I'll do the announcements later. But make time to come on 9 November 2 to 4:30. You will thoroughly be blessed. And you will hopefully change your mind that, right. Thank you. Reggie, back to you.
Okay?
Do you believe the Temple Mount is the real temple site?
There's a lot of speculation. It's not important. Why? Important, it has to be rebuilt. You agree?
Yes.
Not where is it. Because a lot of people, they are very spooky spiritual one. Oh, this angle, that angle. Oh, they take people all over the place. Don't have to. It's rebuilt. Then you know, you put another prophetic marker there already.
Yes, that's right.
Okay? And then you find that another thing will happen after that. You're coming to that after this, yeah? Any more questions before we move?
One last question. For the sake of everyone. Yes! I'll come to you so that people can hear you.
I'm just to know whether the temple materials are already ready.
Oh, they can build it within 4 months.
4 months. 4 months, thank you.
Okay? Within 4 months. They already have the golden menorah. They already have the table of showbread. They already have the, what they call the 7 lampstand. They already have the golden lava. They already have the cornerstone. They need certain stone to do it. And they already have the priestly garment ready already. And the youth are trained for temple worship already. So, and the red heifer is ready. You need to sacrifice a red heifer, and the red heifer is just found a few years ago. Praise the Lord. So the return of Christ is imminent. It's not whether he will return, it's when he will return. Amen? Hallelujah. Can we move to the slide on Daniel? Yeah. Yeah. No, these are the Orthodox Jews. The Messianic Jews don't do this because for us Christians, the temple is where? It's in our heart.
That's right.
Alright, we are living in that the covenant of God is in the heart. It's no longer in the temple. Yeah. Can we have
Second installation.
Daniel?
We don't know where it is.
He considers he should know because he got the whole file. Yeah, Daniel. Always at the beginning of a new topic, I will recap what you have learned so that your train of thoughts will follow me. Okay, so don't think about other things, okay? You get lost in translation, I don't know, huh? Okay? Well, Jesus answered a very important question: when he will return and what will be the sign. See, it's all about the sign, you know. You must know the sign. That's why you are here. I'm going to give you all the signs that you need to know. So, some of the signs are physical signs like volcanic eruption, tsunami, earthquakes, flood. These are the things that's happening all over the world. And then we know that knowledge have increased. Those days I want to study the Bible, I couldn't afford to buy the concordance. Too expensive. Okay? Today you just download. You agree?
Yeah.
How many versions of the Bible is free? So what's wrong with you? You cannot read the Bible? Oh. Well, 1948 is a very important time for you to open the book of Revelation because prophecies are beginning to fulfill in a quick manner after this event. Yeah. In 1967, they got back the Temple Mount. All right, you see all the events that happened. The book of Daniel. Because Jesus tell you to open the book of Daniel. Remember, we finish out and say that go to the book of Daniel that talk about the abomination of desolation. So, when I was in the pub in England, the Lord said, now turn to Daniel. Wow, you know how excited I was? At that point of time when I was studying Revelation, there are times I never sleep for 3 or 4 days. Because when the revelation keep on coming, I keep on writing, I keep on doing lots of stuff, you see. And with that, you know, then I can teach you. So, many years of sleepless nights, yeah, so that you can have this seminar. Amen. What is the abomination of desolation? It is the Antichrist entering into the holies of holies to desecrate the place. Okay, can you get that? Now I'm going to answer some questions that people ask already. When will you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place? Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. So go and hide somewhere because the Antichrist will now attack you. He's no longer a man of peace already. You come as a man of peace, but he will not be a man of peace. Now, a lot of people, just now there was a question, isn't it already passed already? Because during Daniel's time, he prophesied about this, but it happened after Daniel's time that the temple was desecrated. They put pig blood on it. Okay? And they actually destroyed the place, desecrate the place. Remember the key? The circle? Can happen again. Alright? If you have a Hebrew mindset, if you don't have Hebrew mindset, linear mindset, oh, it's in the past already. See? That's how I changed the way I teach. I was like the rest until the Lord shows me when I go to Israel many times. You begin to have the revelation. Antiochus IV Epiphanes, the king of Syria, captured Jerusalem in 167 BC and desecrated the temple by offering the sacrifice of a pig at the altar to Jews, to the god Zeus. Is this the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel? That's a question. Most of the teachers say it is. I prove to you it is not. Okay? Bear with me. Through the scriptures. Daniel 9:27 says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. That means a treaty will be signed for 1 week. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. That means, once when this sign the treaty, the temple is allowed to build. And then they will start doing the sacrifice. See? They start doing the sacrifice, alright? And they will offer doves, lambs, or ox for God. And for the overspreading of abomination, he shall make it desolate even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured out upon the desolate. That means it's future. Alright? And this event is future because he will come and desecrate the place. He's called the Antichrist. Okay? Now, Epiphan is not the Antichrist because Christ has not come yet. Have you realized? He's not come yet. He's not the Antichrist. We are talking about the Antichrist, not anti-God, not anti-Yahweh. It's anti-Yeshua. Okay? You got it right now? Now 90% of them get it wrong, the teacher of eschatology, because they never read the scripture, line upon line, precept upon precept. I've given you the key, right? You can do it. You can even find out things yourself. Alright? If you do that. Okay? No question? Good. It cannot be.
Because he didn't try, he didn't allow them, he didn't stop the sacrifice, and then,
He only destroyed the temple, that's it,
that's
okay?
right, that's right.
So now coming back to you, the Greek thinking, to remind you again that, hey, look here, don't think like a Greek. When you think like a Greek, you cannot understand the plans of God. That's why when you think like a Greek, you never want to celebrate the 7 feasts. Right? But you choose to celebrate Easter, Christmas, where it's not in the Bible. Is it in the Bible? Can you show me Easter and Christmas in the Bible? But you celebrate. Why? Because of the tradition of man. The first guide, Matthew 24 verse 15. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolate spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever read, let him understand. So at this juncture, the Lord said, turn to Daniel. Without Daniel, you cannot understand Revelation, because the keys to Revelation is all with Daniel. Understand? So God raised up different prophets for different things. So the temple has to rebuild before all these things can take place. Amen? So watch out for this in the news. CNN or BBC or Sky News, watch out for this. It will be revealed. You know why it will be revealed? Because God says so. Yeah. The book of Daniel, so we'll cover the dream of the king, the vision of the 4 beasts, the vision of the ram and the goat, the 70 weeks of Daniel. Then you are ready to go to the book of Revelation. Before this, you can't. You get confused, you'll be confused.com. Okay? Now before we go, let's have a brief history of Daniel. It was during the captivity period in Babylon, 605 BC to 582 BC. And he is a young Jewish lad, probably of royal descent. And he was very talented because he could see the future, he could predict a lot of things. They chose him to serve in the royal court of Babylon. Had a series of dreams and visions, of which is key to understanding the book of Revelation. Okay? So very important to know that. So what was the dream that this king had? It's very important to know that dream there. Yeah? Now King Nebuchadnezzar built the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, one of the 7 wonders of the world. So it was, at that point of time, was the place to be with. Yeah? It's a very beautiful place. I can show you remnants of that kingdom afterwards with real pictures of it. You see this? At that point of time, they already have what we call tiles, colored tiles, where people only have brick, you know.
But the lions with the wings, the lions with the wings.
Please. Don't interrupt when I speak, okay? My train of thoughts go away. Don't say anything, just listen. Then when it's time to speak, I'll let you speak, okay? Praise the Lord. Dreams of, it always happen when I know. It's just that I'm doing my house cleaning, that's all. The dream of Nebuchadnezzar, Daniel 2, verse 1 to 11. Those days I teach, I didn't know how to control my voice. I teach 1 month, 3 times, I lose my voice for 3 months. Yeah, it's very taxing, teaching. You don't believe you come up here and try and see, you lose your voice. One teaching, you lose it. You must learn how to control your voice. One night during the 2nd year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that disturbed him so much he couldn't sleep. So this king had a dream. And he cannot sleep because it troubles him. He called his magicians, enchanters, sorcerers, and astrologers, and he demanded that they tell him what he had dreamt as they stood before the king. So, it's so important, he called all the important people. Those days, it's not economic advisor, it's not human resource, it's not what they call human affairs minister, it is magician. Okay? And he said, I have a dream that troubles me. Tell me what I dreamt, for I must know what it means. So he wanted to tell him what he dreamed. Then the astrologer answered the king in Aramaic, long live the king, tell us the dream and we will tell you what it means. Very fair, right? You tell me, then I explain to you what you dreamed. But the king said to the astrologers, I'm serious about this. If you don't tell me what my dream was and what it means, you'll be torn limbs from limb and your house will be demolished into heaps of rubble. Kings are like that, very unreasonable. That's why today you have very few absolute kingdom, right? Because they are like that. So they do what they like. Today we have only constitutional monarchy. Alright, no power one. But if you tell me what I dreamt and what the dream means, I will give you many wonderful gifts and honor. Just tell me the dream and what it means. He knew that it was important, and he wanted to know that it is the right interpretation. He's very smart. If you cannot tell me what I dreamed, certainly you just guess only. Alright, but if you can tell me what I dreamed, surely you will know what it means. Very smart. Then they said again, please, your majesty, tell us the dream and we will tell you what it means. The king replied, I can see through your trick. You are trying to stall for time because you know I'm serious about what I said. If you don't tell me the dream, you will be condemned. You have conspired to tell me lies in hope that something will change. But tell me the dream and then I will know that you can tell me what it means. The astrologer replied to the king, there isn't a man alive who can tell you, your majesty, his dream. And no king, however great and powerful, has even asked such a thing of any magician, enchanter, or astrologer. Now, the magician defending themselves. Hey, you crazy, he's trying to say, nobody can tell you your dream. When you're a king, you cannot know the dream. People cannot know your dream. Then, they say, this is an impossible thing the king required. No one except the gods can tell you your dream. And they do not live among us. They say, yeah, the God, they can tell you, but they're not here, you see. So very smart. So what's the dream? Daniel 2:12-23. The king was furious when he heard this and he sent out orders to execute all the wise men of Babylon. And because of the king's decree, men were sent out to find and kill Daniel and his friends. And when Arioch, the commander of the king's guard, came to kill them, Daniel handled the situation with wisdom and discretion. So he didn't shout loudly, he said, come inside, have a cup of coffee. Let's discuss over the matter. So, the king wants this, maybe I can help, yeah? He asked Arioch, why has the king issued such a harsh decree? So Arioch told him all that had happened. Daniel went at once to see the king and requested more time so he could tell the king what the dream meant. So he was reasonable. He go to the king, okay, Lord, king, you want to know, you want the interpretation, can you wait a few days or not? I seek first. Then the king said, okay. Then Daniel went home and told his friend Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah what has happened. He urged them to ask the God of heaven to show them his mercy by telling them the secret, so they would not be executed along with the other wise men of Babylon. They want to know also because they don't want to potong kapala. Their head, they want their head, okay? That night the secret was revealed to Daniel in a vision. Then Daniel praised the God of heaven, saying, praise the name of God forever, and even for he alone has all the wisdom and power. I like Daniel. I love him. He's my favorite prophet. Because he's so humble. Yeah, he gave glory to God. He determines the course of world events. He removed kings and sets others on the throne. You agree? Your prime minister came to the throne because God removed the other one.
That's right.
Donald Trump came into America because God removed.
Amen.
Hillary Clinton. Okay? Nobody can change except God. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to the scholars. Yeah, I'm a scholar, okay? Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. He reveals deep and mysterious things and knows what lies hidden in the darkness, though he himself is surrounded by light. So he knows everything it means. Okay? I thank and praise you, God of my ancestor, for you have given me the wisdom and strength. You have told me what we asked of you and revealed to us what the king demanded. Daniel then interpreted the dreams. Hallelujah. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king has demanded, the wise man, the astrologer, the magician, and the soothsayer cannot declare to the king. But there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days. Your dream and the visions of your head upon your bed were these. Actually, you're using the wrong slide. It should be with the M1. The M1 will have Chinese words.
Yeah, the Chinese translation.
With M1, then there'll be Chinese words. No problem.
Mandarin.
It says, Your Majesty, in your vision you saw in front of you a huge and powerful statue of a man, shining brilliantly, frightening, and awesome. So the dream was about the statue, a big statue. And the first description of the statue was, the head of the statue was made of fine gold. Okay, like this. Okay? Revelation must be taught with graphics. Without graphics, you will fly through your head. So it's best to show pictures more than words, okay? So you can catch it easier. Alright? And incidentally, during this period, gold was very important. The second interpretation was the chest and arms were of silver. Okay? The second part is of silver. The third part is his belly and thighs were of bronze. Okay? You can see that the metal keep on degrading, right? Then the fourth one is iron and clay, of iron. Okay?